What's up, everybody? It's Draymond Green. Make sure you subscribe to the Volumes YouTube channel below so you don't miss any more of this great content going forward. Let's actually get into Game 3, Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. We were able to take that game 109-100 to take a 3-0 lead. Very fun game to play in. Steph got it going. I think Steph finished the game with 31, 11, and 5 or 6. Steph has been absolutely incredible. He's been rebounding the ball great, which is huge in this series because you get long rebounds. Obviously, Dallas shoots a ton of threes, and when you shoot a ton of threes, the rebounds are going to bounce to a little over the first guys that are boxing out to the free throw line area. However, with Steph doesn't just get long rebounds. Steph gets in the thick of things and comes up with rebounds. And so one thing we've always known is Steph is a great rebounder, especially at his size and at the guard position. He's always been an incredible rebounder, and he continues that through this series. But I think for me, watching Steph play, I know someone asked me tonight, like, what's the difference in Steph? Is he more motivated? Because people were saying, like, Luka's now the point guard in the NBA, and it's him. And has that motivated him? And Luka's an incredible player. I'm not sure Steph had heard that because, like I told them, I hadn't heard that. Like, I hadn't heard anyone like, oh, it's the changing of the guard, and Luka is now the point guard in the NBA, and it's no longer Steph Curry. I hadn't heard any of that talk. I also don't pay attention to much talk like that. And so I can't say that motivated Steph Curry. What I know for certain motivates Steph Curry is that this is now year 3 of us having not been in the finals. We can change that and make it a 2-year drought. But this is the 3rd year of that. And so not playing in the finals for 2 straight years, losing in the play-in games last year, we're back. We're healthy, and that's enough motivation in itself to get to the conference finals and then obviously on to the finals. We became accustomed to winning all the time, and then you don't, and it just feels off. And so, we understand that we don't have 10 years of basketball left together, and we have to take advantage of our opportunities, and we want to add more rings. And so that right there is enough motivation in itself. I thought Wiggins played incredibly well. Everybody knows Wiggins played incredibly well. The defense he's been playing on Luka has been absolutely amazing. Thing that I love most is he's picking him up full court every time he brings the ball up the court. And number one, the amount of energy that takes is through the roof. Now, most guys that pick guys up full court, they're not doing it on the offensive end. He's doing it on both ends of the floor. And it's not one particular thing. It's not just threes. It's not just mid-range shots. It's not just getting to the cup. It's like all of these things. And what I've been most impressed with on the offensive end with Wiggins, not only this series, but past 2 series before this one, is his offensive rebounding and coming up with extra possessions. And even the ones that he don't actually come up with, he's getting his hand on them and just creating extra possession and causing havoc. It's been absolutely amazing what he's been able to do. Kevon Looney with another stellar game. I think he had 9 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists or something like that. Loon has really come on, and I'm happy to see Loon playing the way he's playing because this is what we all have known. Loon always impacts winning. And it's starting to show up in the stat sheet now. And it's showing up in a way to where the rest of the world can say, oh, man, that guy's playing well. Because if it don't show up in the stat sheet, most people don't have a clue of what's going on in a basketball game, although they think they do. Most people don't have a clue of what's going on in a basketball game, and they'll say, oh, man, he sucks, or he's this, or he's that. And he's been absolutely amazing. One of the, and I spoke about this before, and I'll say it again for those that didn't hear it before. One of the things that I get the biggest joy out of is I've seen it for years. People call Loon up into the screen. They think they got, oh, man, I see this guy. I can go by him. And he just defends and uses his length well and doesn't bite on fakes. And to see teams then realize, like, oh, man, we can't call that guy into the screen. It always brings me great joy. So Loon has been absolutely amazing. All playoffs long, by the way. He was incredible in the Denver series, too. We ended up going small because we thought we had matchup advantage on the other end by going small. But Loon has been amazing all year, played 82 games, coming to these playoffs and been the true professional that we know he is. And he's been huge for us. I mean, the inside presence that he gives us is exactly what we were missing in that Memphis series when Steph and I went to coach, like, yo, we have to start Loon. And the presence has been there every game ever since. And so Loon's been absolutely amazing. I thought Klay played a really good game. Last two games, his driving and kicking and getting the first domino to fall has been incredible. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well tonight, 3 for 10 from three. I think it was 6 for 18 from the floor for 19 points. But what was most beautiful about it is he had great looks. And if you give Klay Thompson great looks, I'm living with that. Klay Thompson going to make those. I'm never worried about that. And so I thought Klay was really key. On the defensive end, Klay was very good for us as well. I mean, overall, total team effort. For me, I had a piss poor first half. Piss poor. Frustrated. Whole nine. Also, did y'all think I was over and back? All right, just asking for your opinion. I don't know. I'm not going to give my opinion on that call, but I'm asking for your opinion. Maybe you can hashtag the Draymond Green Show. Wait, what's our hashtag, Jax?
It's the Draymond Green Show.
Hashtag the Draymond Green Show. And let me know if you thought it was over back or not. I'm going to leave that up to you because you can't get fined. I can. So you tell me what you think. But nonetheless, I was frustrated. I was pissed off. And coming out the second half, I knew I had to be better if we were going to win that game on the road. That I had to be better on both ends of the floor, defensive end and the offensive end of the floor. And I thought I did a pretty good job of that. I'm really mad that my long two was a 2 because, you know, when I take the 3, I like to make the 3 and, you know, kind of, although it still kind of acted as a 3, like it didn't count as a 3, but it gave the effect of a 3. And so still felt pretty good. But no, I think for me, last game, game 2, I spent the entire game pouting, frustrated, arguing with the referees, blah, blah, blah. I actually got a text tonight for saying that's whack. But badge of honor, I wear that with pride. So it is what it is. But I think Coach Izzo texted me actually after last game, and he said it in a very nice way. He said, I'm going to read the text to you because I don't want to get his words wrong. But he said it in a very nice way, which is not normal because he'll usually just tell me like, hey, you were terrible. He said, Day, shaky, but you got the job done. In my humble opinion, y'all got caught up in the officiating. You got to realize you're the leader and many follows. That being said, you hit a big 3-point shot and a couple big stops was key. They follow your lead, but you're still up 2-0. Good luck, brother. And that I knew exactly what he was saying. He didn't need to say much more. And I responded to him. I said, Coach, you were 1,000% right. I let my emotions go overboard, and the team did follow. I have to be better. But it sure does feel good to win. And like I said, I knew exactly right away what he was saying. I knew I needed to be better in that department and not let that affect my game negatively. And I think it really affected my game negatively in game 2, which ultimately affected us as a team negatively. Now, we were able to win the game, and you know, when you can learn from your mistakes with a win, take that. And so I'll take it and just continue to move forward. But I knew that I had to be better in that department coming into this game, and I thought I did a much better job there. And so, obviously, we're up 3-0. Closeout game, which we know is always the hardest game. This team is not going to come out and quit. They're not quitters. They're not led by a quitter that's a coach, and they're not led by their main guy isn't a quitter either. So we're not expecting that. But ultimately, if we come out, we execute our game plan, we play our brand of basketball, we should go back to San Francisco as a participant in the NBA Finals. And man, does that sound good, because it's been a long couple years. I mean, 2 years ago, we won 15 games. Let that resonate for a minute. 15 games. I was ready to pull all my gray hairs out 2 years. I mean, that's where quite a few of these came from, too. You better know it. But to go from 15 games 2 years ago, now obviously it's little fool's gold. Klay was out, Steph was out. We get it. But still was 15 games. And it's still the same organization that won 15 games. And here we are with an opportunity to close out a series on the road and head back to the NBA Finals. And I am thrilled. I absolutely love when I go on TNT and do the whole inside thing, but I'd much rather be in the NBA Finals. And so we have that opportunity. We have to make sure that we take advantage of it, come out. I think one of the big keys in the game for us tonight was holding Reggie Bullock to 0 points. Those guys come home, they get their shots going, and maybe he ended up scoring late, but for the majority of the game, I know he had 0 points. I'm not sure if Jackson said he did finish with 0. And I thought that was a huge key, because when they get those guys going, you already have to send a couple bodies at Luka. And when they get those guys going and they're just knocking shots down left and right, they're a really, really, really tough team to beat. So that was a big deal for us. And I think if we can do some of that next game, obviously you may not hold him to 0. He's probably going to hit a shot. He shoots the ball. But if we can contain him, Dorian Finney-Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie better. Spencer Dinwiddie had a really good game tonight. Jalen Brunson. Luka is tough to stop, and Wiggins is doing an incredible job. But you're never going to hold him to 10 points or 0 points. It's just not going to happen. And so you have to do the job where you can do the job. And I think we've done a good job of that for the most part in this series. So game 4 on Tuesday will be a fun one. We have to come out and take care of the ball like we did tonight, especially at the beginning of the game. We really put an emphasis on taking care of the ball at the beginning of the game and getting shots up, and we did a really good job of that. So that's going to be a big key, making sure we get off to a good start. You know they're going to come out. They're going to throw a haymaker to start the game. Everybody does, especially down 3-0. You feel like you got nothing to lose. No one's going to quit. So we have to be able to withstand that haymaker, and if we can withstand that haymaker and punch back, then the doubt starts to set in. And if we can get the doubt to set in, you make it, for lack of a better term, a lot easier on yourself, because it's never easy. But you make it a little easier on yourself. So take the haymaker, respond, and then let it play out how it may. But hopefully, the next time I talk to you all, we will be up 4-0 and done with this series and moving on to the NBA Finals. Actually, before we move on, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Andrew Wiggins' dunk. Dunking on someone is incredible. You get, momentum. It just feels good to dunk on somebody. But to dunk on Luka, that's a different thing. That's like, it's one thing to dunk on somebody, that's great. But when you dunk on one of the guys, like Luka, as we all know, Luka one of them ones. He one of the guys. Like, when you can dunk on one of the guys, it's like much, much bigger. And such an incredible dunk. I hate that the play was stopped by the offensive foul call. And although it's, we still got the 2 points and the dunk counted, it just sucks that those emotions weren't able to be felt right then during that game. Like once the review happens and it counts and all of that, like that's cool, but it's not the same emotion than when a dunk just happened. Like if Luka has to get up off the floor and dribble the ball up and Wiggins is picking him up full court out, like that's a totally different thing and that's a totally different emotion. And so it kind of sucks that the play just didn't go on and you didn't get to feel that emotion, what that dunk should have brought. But nonetheless, it is a highlight. It's one that'll probably be the biggest top highlight on Andrew Wiggins' career highlights. Absolutely amazing. We've been telling Wiggs / asking him for years, Wiggs, when you go to the hole, just try to dunk. Like, we don't care if you make it or miss it. 9 times out of 10, if you try it, he jumps so high into pogo stick. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to make it or get fouled. And he's attacking the rim aggressively like that. And man, that was an incredible play. And I had a front row seat better than anyone else in that arena. It was beautiful to see.